Hello everyone, welcome to another lecture of our multiplayer FPS course. In this lecture, we will make some changes on the health script that we created in the last lecture. So open the health script. In the last lecture, we created a local variable and now we will set it as a sync variable so that we can sync it through the other clients. So type in sync var instead of serialized field and create brackets in the brackets we will create a hook. Type in hook and equals name of. We will give a function and it will invoke that function whenever the health value is changed. So create a function as I do called health value changed and set two parameters. You have to set two parameters because mirror sets the first parameter to the old value and the second parameter to new value of the sync var when you use hook. This is a feature of mirror. And now we will type in health value changed into name of brackets. So whenever our health value changes, this function will be called. And the old value of our health value will be old health and the new value of it will be new health in this function. And whenever this function is called, we will update the health text and the health bar. So cut it down from the get damage function and paste it here. And now we will check if our new health is smaller than 0 or not. If it's smaller than 0, we will print die. And in the upcoming lectures, we will do the actual dying animation and respawning. And now attach the code to Unity. In the editor, you will see some things called sync settings. Don't change these are okay. And now we will write the firing code. Open the player prefab and we will add a component. So add component, we will create a script called fire script. New script, create and add. Once it's added, open it. First of all, we will be using mirror, so type in using mirror. And this script will be a network behavior, so change the mono behavior to network behavior. And delete the void start, we won't use it. We will use the update. Now create a serialized field reference to the camera. Serialized field private game object camera equals none. Now head to the editor without saving the script. As you can see, we created the script in the parent player. We didn't create it in the camera because if we created it in the camera, it would create a network identity and the code wouldn't work because network identity should be in the parent. In the update, we will check if we are clicking the left button or not. Input dot get key down key code dot mouse 0. That means the left button of the mouse is clicked. So if physics dot raycast, we will create a raycast and check if we hit the player or not. We will be passing origin, direction, max distance parameters into the raycast. So camera.transform.position is our origin, where we create the ray. Direction is camera.transform.forward. And we will be accessing the raycast information using out raycast hit variable called hit. Then the layer mask, we will create a layer mask above. So it will be a serialized field as well. private layer mask player mask equals new layer mask, and pass in the player mask in the parameters. And inside this we will be accessing the hit variable. If hit dot collider dot try get component, if the hit game object actually has the health script, we will be accessing that health script, so we will pass it out as a out health script, and we will name it as player health script. We will be accessing the player health script in this if condition. And if we are the server, the player that has the server on it, we will be directly calling the function on the server. And if we are not, we will use command cmd. So create a command attachment. You have to type cmd with capital C and small m and d for the function to be a command function. Otherwise it won't work as a command function, and it will be a void. Sorry. We will pass in two parameters in this function. One of them will be damage, and the other one will be the health script. So health script, player health script. This is a command function, and it helps us to call functions that are on the server when we are client. So we will create a server function, create a server attachment. Also, it will be better if the function's name starts with server hit, and we will pass in the float damage and player health script parameters. So copy and paste the parameters here. So the command helps us to call functions on the server when we are a client. And if we are the server, we don't have to use a command. We can just directly use the server function. So in the cmd hit, we will call the server hit. So we will pass in the damage and player health script parameters that we got. And copy this, and in the server we will be calling the server hit. So paste it here. Change the damage with any value that you want to be the damage value. And if we are the server and we call this server hit, we will return and won't work the rest of the code. And if we are not the server, we will call the cmd hit function, pass in the same damage and player health script. And this way it will call the command hit, and the command hit will call the server hit on the server. So in the server we will call a function on the health script, and that's the reason we passed in the player health script in the function. And in the player health script we have a function called get damage. We will pass in the damage. Now attach the code to Unity. In the editor you will see a camera field. We will drag and drop our camera into that field. And now in the layers, create a new layer called player. And in the player, change the layer to player. And the player mask, set the player mask to player. And go back. And we will build and run our game. Once the game is opened, host on the editor and client on the build. And now I will fire to the player, and as you can see the health value is decreasing. And on the client, as you can see, the health value is decreasing as well when I shoot on the editor. And when the client died, it printed die on the console window of the editor, as you can see in the left bottom corner. So this was all for this lecture. See you on the next one.